Thousands rallied over the weekend for anti-ICE protests after the shooting of Renee Good. And Sean Hannity on Fox News, he was really desperate to get a soundbite of some unhinged protesters, and he actually was unable to do so. Take a look.
Can you speak to anybody that's marching right now and ask them what it is that they're marching about?
Yeah. Excuse me. Can you tell us, what are you here marching for?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my ears are ringing a lot, so I don't know if I'll hear perfectly. But yeah, I'm just here because I think it's absolutely disgusting what ICE is doing here. I think it's absolutely abhorrent that they're kidnapping people. I'm disgusted that they murdered an innocent human being. And yeah, the entire thing just absolutely abhors me. This has to stop immediately. What we're seeing right now is frankly an ethnic cleansing. It's disgusting.
Hey, Garrett.
It needs to stop. And I'm glad that there's so many people out here trying to stop this because it's just abhorrent. And we
Garrett,
need to stick together to stop this.
Does he have a concern that the woman was driving her car at an officer? Does it concern this individual?
When you saw this video that is out, did you have any concern that it looked like this woman may have been driving her vehicle at the officer?
That's not what it looked like to me at all. And I mean, even if you did assume that was the case, which it absolutely is not, we are supposed to train officers to be responsible in these situations and judge the situation objectively, look at it reasonably.
Yeah, and this person was very well-spoken, very clear in what he was trying to communicate. And it doesn't fit the right-wing narrative, especially the narrative that you get from Fox News, that all of these people on the left are agitators, we're not smart people, we're all deranged, and we don't have a clear vision of the world and what it's supposed to be, because our view of the world is directly in contradiction to what Trump wants our view of the world to be. So meanwhile, as the investigation of the shooting is now starting, federal agents are cutting out local officials from being a part of it at all. So Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says that federal agents were not going to share their investigative file with them. So he said, we started hearing they're not going to release it. They're going to exclude state authorities from the bullets, the gun, the crime scene. Ellison tried to intervene. Can we call somebody? Can we work it out? Can we come to some understanding? He recalled thinking in an interview with HuffPost, when the news went public, his hopes dropped. He sent a letter to federal officials pleading with them to change their minds, and he hasn't heard back. And the Trump administration gave this reason for cutting them out. And he said local investigators simply could not be trusted to conduct a fair inquiry. A senior federal law enforcement official speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss internal deliberations said that the remarks of Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey blaming the shooting on immigration operations the White House had ordered in his city prompted the move. The administration likened Mr. Frey's finger pointing to ordaining a predetermined outcome, even though his statements were comparable in tone to, if opposite in substance, from the Trump administration's torrent of talk. And there is some good news, and that is that there has been a GoFundMe page for Renee Good's family. It was open and it had to close after reaching $1.5 million, and that is encouraging. It's the least that can and will happen at this point, especially since the investigation seems as though it's not going to yield any kind of real results. But I did see a similar GoFundMe set up for Jonathan Ross, who is the man who killed, the ICE agent who killed Renee Good, and then had derogatory things to say about her after he shot her. And it wasn't nearly as much money. So maybe that's a little bit encouraging. Jared, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the folks that are probably trying to support the murderer, maybe their paychecks aren't quite so large, since this guy's been destroying their lives as well. It's not like their lives have gotten better either. They're thriving off of their racism and the hatred. That's really what they're based off of. But really fast, I won't talk long. First off, this is supposed to be the most transparent administration in history, but they're cutting off any investigations towards what it is that we're looking to find here. And they're critical of the way that the mayor there, Fry, was talking about it, completely ignoring the fact that, again, we saw Kristi Noem go on TV and double down on what we all saw and the lies that she told immediately after, was having no idea of what is that actually happened. They can jump to conclusions, which after we look into another 5 seconds of it, are obviously wrong, but then someone else pointing out exactly what is that happened, along with local folks that have seen it, local law enforcement that talked about what we saw, all of that happening is somehow flying in the face of reality. So you would think if you're on the right side of this discussion that you could release everything that you're investigating and everyone will be convinced, because they have released little things like, again, that body cam evidence, and everyone saw the opposite of what it is that you said it was. That might be the reasons why you're gonna keep all the rest of these investigations in-house and away from the local officials who are maybe too hell-bent on reality, because that's what they're pushing, is this alternate version of it.
Yeah, and they can only do that. Well, I don't know. Like I say that they can only do that for so long, but they have been doing it for so long. And it's kind of unbelievable that they still have so many people who are just willing to accept all of these things that are directly contradictory to the other things that they also accept. Like, I don't know how people don't just question the things that already exist in their own heads, things that they themselves have already accepted as truth. And then something else comes in that is directly contradictory to that. And they say, no problem, I can just find space for all of it in my head and they will not touch. We'll just keep them completely separate. I don't know how that works, but it's been working for over 10 years now. And all these things this is nothing new, seeing footage and then hearing the administration say, that's not what you saw. That's not new, right? We all watched the video. We all saw the video. We all saw the video of George Floyd. Nothing has changed. There's so many instances of police brutality, or in this case, ICE brutality, that we have seen for ourselves. The administration says that's not what you saw. And then they have their own supporters out there saying, yeah, that's not what we saw. I didn't see that. So that's what we're up against.